The second annual Earth Day Dallas is a 2-day festival that takes place in the beautiful Fair Park Fairgrounds. Over the course of 2 days, nearly 75,000 people from all walks of life flock to the festival in order to gain a better understanding of the environment and how to live a greener lifestyle. Young and old were able to visit various booths to learn how they can implement more green activities into their daily lives.
Harvesting what you can, guys, we have to be safe. The equipment you need to make jelly or retire your equipment, this piece has to be retired. You know why?
But how did Earth Day begin? And why should we care about what we do to our environment? An environmental campaign began as a result of the growing anti-war movement in the late 1960s. This environmental campaign led to the creation of the first ever Earth Day on April 22, 1970. On this day, nearly 1 in every 10 Americans took part in rallies, concerts, educational programs, and cleanup projects. The political outcry that occurred on that first Earth Day led to changes in governmental policy. Congress passed new laws for clean air, water, and endangered species, as well as created the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. 42 years later, April 22nd is celebrated in over 175 countries around the world. And at Earth Day Dallas, this particular festival had unique ways to educate the public on going green.
I actually like tree climbing exhibition.
He's a small guy. He'll tie into some fairly small little branches up there that are pretty springy. Those are called ascenders.
But despite all the climbing excitement, this exhibit is trying to teach people why we need trees.
People need to understand that trees clean our air, our water, and our soil. But they do much more. They clean our water. As the water comes down and filters through its foliage, filters through its roots down into the groundwater. We have areas in the southern sector that are polluted with lead, and we can't haul off the soil, so what we do is plant trees and plants because it absorbs the toxins out of the soil. These are oaks. They build up a lot of weight on the ends with the acorns. A naturalist, I have a lot of friends that are naturalists, and they'll say, well, just let nature take its course. We don't need to prune anything. Well, we certainly can do that, but the downside is we have windstorms or ice storms, you're going to lose limbs. You're going to break limbs.
Steve Hauser with Abrological Services have also placed big yellow gift tags on the larger trees around the park that say,
It says, to you from your trees. Here's one of the good things I do for you. So that's one way of taking a picture of something and people start to understand that trees are a gift of nature to all.
The festival also showcased hundreds of exhibits who all had new ways to go green and be environmentally conscious. Some of which were fan favorites.
Probably my favorite was the kids using their solar-powered robots.
Other booths taught festival goers how to be more green at home.
We can plant an herb garden, and then we can have fresh food, and it will be good and good for the environment too. So.
Our booth here is about soil and the importance of soil composition.
What you have to do is amend that soil, making it so it's more conducive to growing very strongly. Add about a third of amount, expanded shale, about a third of amount of compost. Mix that up. What you end up with is this amended clay soil, and then you add some mulch around the plant.
Basically, this is the earth. This is our food source.
The festival offered much more than just a way to experience and learn about the great outdoors. If you're lucky, you might have spotted a dog with a mohawk, a tree that can walk, and even a BMX show. And if those thrills prove too much for you, you could always regain your chi with some yoga. But probably one of the most eye-opening demonstrations at the festival that weekend was the Ubuntu Blocks Home.
We're trying to change the world. One of the things I like to do when we have a wall up is I like to point out none of the blocks are perfect.
So we fill up a grocery bag with, pieces of little styrofoam, triple or quadruple bag it so to avoid it tearing too much. And then we put 4, 5, 6 of those bags in the machine, and it makes a block. And then the whole house is constructed using just these blocks, wire and rebar.
The great thing about this year is we can build a house in Haiti of about 240 square feet. Here, you got to keep in mind that the Ubuntu, and that is when the wall is up, the wall is stronger than the forces of nature.
And the one thing that Harvey hopes that you take away from his Ubuntu Blocks home is that
whether you're a plastic block in a wall in an Ubuntu house or you're a person on the planet, what is important is the presence, and that is that you show up.
Earth Day Dallas is just one of the many festivals that will be held this April 22nd. And by teaching old and young alike how to be more Earth conscious, this event promises all of us a greener future. For NTTV News, I'm Amber Johnson.